Hey everybody, welcome to Saturday's collective reading where we've been focusing on the third eye chakra, which is how we see from a higher perspective, from our higher spiritual, unconditionally loving selves, instead of with our fear-based, fight or flight, conditional love of our humanness. So before we jump in and see what information the Creator would like to bring us, we do want to thank the Creator for being here with us. We're so appreciative of your presence. Just that you didn't create the world, get it spinning, and leave us here to fend for ourselves, but that you're involved intricately in our lives every second of every day. And not out of judgment, but out of unconditional love, which is what we're also grateful so much for, is that amazing, unending, unconditional love you have for us. Nothing we can do to lose it, nothing we can do to gain more of it. We have it all right now, and we're so grateful, and we welcome you. We'll also welcome all of our just that cheerleading posse that we have on the other side. We've got all these sources that are loving us unconditionally so much. We've got our guardian angels and other angels. We've got our spirit guides. We've got our ancestors. We've got our loved ones who've already gone to the other side. And there's just this expansive myriad of other unconditionally loving beings of love and light that are always wanting to send love to us and are with us on our adventure. So we welcome all of you as well, and we thank you for being here with us. All right, Creator, what would you like us to know today about our third eye viewpoint from a higher point? What information would you like us to know about that vision that we have the ability to connect to, that allows us to see from above the trees instead of like a caterpillar crawling on the jungle floor? We see things from safety. We see things from love. What would you like us to know? Okay. I love this number 40. For me, at first, this looks like a phoenix, of course, but also a giant butterfly, like I was just talking about. A caterpillar walking along the, floor of the jungle, or being a butterfly flying above, seeing things from a higher viewpoint. So how perfect is that? I just love that imagery. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so we'll see what the intentions are of this card here. Yep. So it's called the Egyptian eagle, which is also what is related to the phoenix. So this is the time to release all your past ideals that no longer serve you. If you've been doing inner work, this card represents its completion and a shift into the new. If you're just beginning, this card represents that it's time to begin your inner work. As we make these great life shifts, those who were once close seem to drift away. So take time to thank them for the lessons you've shared. And the Egyptian eagle offers the higher perspective and viewpoint. You just can't make it up. You just can't make this up. So I love that because, it's so what we were talking about for the third eye, seen from a higher perspective, letting the old ideals go. And that is, everything that we've been conditioned with since we were very young, and when we're asked why, and it's just because I said so, we get into that receptive mode when we're young of don't rock the boat, just take what they say and take it as truth for now, and so we add and we add and we add from this place and this list, the movies are telling me this, my teachers are telling me this, my parents, religious leaders, books, radio, newspaper, blah, 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 other people that are just like pouring all of these things, even contradictory things, pouring in, and you're like, okay, well, when I'm with them, I'll act like I believe that, and when I'm with them, I'll act like I believe that opposite thing. And I hope we ever don't meet up all three at once, because then you're like, oh God, who am I gonna, have to confront? But I love it because it's like those movies, those teenage movies where a guy's dating two girls at the same time, and he bumps into him, or he's trying to have a date with both of them at a restaurant separately, and all the hecticness and everything, and finally it messes up and they both find out and they both leave him, and he's just there alone, and he's like, but it's almost a relief because you no longer have to pretend to be anyone. You get to be yourself, and you don't have to worry about all that stress and everything that comes with that. So that's like letting go of all those old ideals, all those supposed to be's and shoulds. It's all those I'll call them small t truths that we take on from other people. But then in our life, when we go into this transformation to see things from a higher perspective, that's when we start to see things from the capital T, capital R, capital U, capital T, capital H. It's a higher truth that goes beyond all the fears of just trying to fit in and not be rejected and to be loved conditionally, which is an unstable love, because any moment you can do something and no, rejected, and when we connect, when we transform, when we burn, that's what the Phoenix is, burning all those old ways and then rising from the ashes as this new creation with higher beliefs, higher vibration beliefs of love, unconditional love. And when we start to see the world from that viewpoint, everything starts to make more sense. You start to look at all the, chaos in the world, oh my God, as, all these people all want the same thing. Everyone's wanting to be loved, but they're fearing that if these list of things don't happen, they're not lovable. So they're all fighting to have their independent lists be met to be lovable. And how stressful is that is. And when we were walking along as the caterpillar, along with every one of those caterpillars that's trying to survive on the ground floor, it's like, yeah, we totally didn't see it. But when we rise and we see things from higher above and we look down, we're like, oh, I see why they're all freaking out. They just want to be loved, and let me bring that love to them. We talked yesterday about the throat chakra, which is how we communicate unconditional love through our voice, whether that's, a voice, a verbal voice, or a voice through writing or playing music or whatever, or anything through the use of our hands, our actions. Giving unconditional love to the world is what helps transform it. We can't save the world. We can't change anyone's heart. All you can do is love and work on yourself. When we work on, those old ideals of fear and pain and hurt, when we expand beyond those and see from that higher perspective, we change the world in our own way by doing our part, our inner work. So this talked about, doing inner work too, which is so important. It's like, well, what can I do in the world? Well, I can't change anyone else's heart. I can only change my own. So I work on purifying my own heart, letting go more and more of those conditional, laws of love, and I expand the channel of unconditional love in my heart. And the bigger that channel for unconditional love gets, then the more unconditional love fills me up and flows out to the world. And then that just sparks others. That's the only thing that changes the world is love. Because when you try to fight and force someone to change, that usually doesn't work out very well. I mean, how often do you like being told what to do? Zero. So just know as you go throughout this beautiful, beautiful Saturday that you are the Phoenix, and you are indeed unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You take care. Wish, 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 wish.